going on, guys? My name is Michael. Welcome to Jared, and we're just having some coffee. I'm having black coffee. Man's having
I always make weird noises.
Yes.
Man's
man's having normal coffee with the rice and marshmallows. No, black coffee. But I like my coffee black anyway. So, I'm gonna watch the Champions League final. What are you gonna do?
Thinking of starting my own accounting business.
Accounting business. If you guys need any help with accounting or anything with your files and your with your ledger,
Yeah.
contact Jared.
Assets equal owner's equity plus liability.
Assets equals owner's equity plus liability. You guys know where to get it. Cool. Okay, so the topic at hand and a question I get asked a lot is, can you turn fat into muscle? Of course you can. I always recommend people to eat as much as they can, get fat, hit the gym. Within a week you will look like The Rock. No, that is not possible. Do not believe that was a joke. You cannot turn fat into muscle. The short answer, no. It's a completely different tissue. You get fat tissue, you get muscle tissue. The fat tissue sits over the muscle. Yes, you get internal fat, but you know what, like around your organs, you get internal fat, but I'm talking about the fat layer outside. You cannot turn that into muscle. Yes, people always say that the bigger guys, the ones with the thicker guys, you know, us guys with like the extra bit around us, we can go hit the gym and we can just get bigger, stronger because we are turning that fat tissue into muscle. That is not true at all. Yes, you can use that energy from the fat. Maybe you can use that energy in the gym, but you're gonna have to burn off that fat and then you have to build muscle from scratch from there. And yes, I guess that the guys, the bigger guys, the thicker guys, the overweight guys, they are what we call easy gainers, so they can gain weight really easily. So it is easier for them to pick up muscle. That's just because the hard gainers, the skinny guys that do not gain fat really easily, they have a harder time gaining muscle. They just have to eat more. But the bigger guys, the guys who can gain fat easily, can also gain muscle easier. So that is true to an extent because they can gain the muscle easier, but you cannot turn that fat directly into muscle. You can use the energy in the gym, you can use the ability to gain weight faster, to gain muscle faster, but you have to watch your eating, you have to train to know you cannot turn fat into muscle. I always recommend, and this is what I did, is if you are overweight, if you have a bit of fat around you, what I recommend is you go on what's called a cut. You do not have to do that, but what I would recommend is that you focus on dropping your weight. Focus on dropping your fat percentage, lower down your fat until you are at a desirable fat percentage. So you're looking good, like you're happy with where you are, like fat-wise. So I recommend you go on a diet where you eat good food, you make sure that you're doing your cardio daily, you're dropping the weight weekly, not too fast, not too slow. You're getting consistent weight drop until you are happy with your fat content, until you are happy with your fat percentage, how you're looking in the mirror. And then I would take it from there, where I would use progressive overload in the gym, look at my eating, make sure I'm getting enough protein in, and then you can focus on building that lean muscle. I would never recommend that you go on a dirty bulk. You will end up looking like this. Yes, I'm bulking. No, you're looking fat. What I would recommend is you stay lean, you eat slightly higher calories, make sure you get your protein in. You do not want to gain fat during this time because you worked so hard to look good, to lose that fat. Why would you go and gain all that fat again? Then you're going to be gaining muscle. Sure, you'll gain a lot of muscle, but you're going to gain a lot of fat. Then you have to work in the future to burn off that fat, cut down. Then you can even lose muscle by trying to burn down that fat. So I do not believe in bulking and cutting at all. So I would recommend that you get to your lower fat percentage and then focus on building lean muscle, progressive overload in the gym, focus on getting your lifts stronger, getting more reps in, eating your protein, gaining that weight slowly but surely by still looking lean, so that you can look lean year round, have your abs, and then just gain muscle slowly so that you can look good all the time. Not like those Instagram people and the YouTubers or the people who just look good half of the year. You want to look good the whole year. So to conclude this, no, you cannot turn muscle into fat. Focus on losing your fat first. Do your cardio, hit your protein, get to your desired fat percentage, then focus on building lean muscle. From there, progressive overload, hitting your protein. Do not eat too much. You want to focus on building muscle slowly but surely by not gaining fat in the process of doing that. Still include your cardio, watch your macros, you'll be sorted. And you also want to make sure that when you are dropping down, when you are losing your fat, you do not want to eat too little. You want to make sure that you're eating your protein, because while you're losing the fat, you want to make sure that you keep and hold on to as much muscle as possible. Then when you are at your desired fat percentage, then you want to focus on building that lean muscle by not building fat in the process, which you can do. You can do that very sustainably. Yes, if you go dirty bulk, you will probably pick up more muscle, but then you're going to pick up more fat. You're going to have to work harder to get rid of that fat after you have bulked when you're cutting down. That is why I do not believe in bulking and cutting, because you're bulking and then you'll gain. Yes, you can clean bulk. I'm all for that, but I'm talking about these dirty bulks when you're gaining so much muscle and fat at the same time. Yes, you're going to get super strong in the gym, but you're going to have this fat layer around you, and then you have to work even harder by cutting down that fat. But then you're going to jeopardize your muscle, because you could lose muscle in the process of cutting down that fat, when you could just work slower, building that muscle slowly but surely without gaining the fat in the process. You will save yourself time. You will look good year round. You will not gain that fat in the process, not have to worry about losing the fat in the future. It's just good. It's better. That's what I believe in, and that's what I recommend to everybody else. So when people focus on bulking and cutting, they focus on gaining as much weight as possible, then they focus on cutting down that fat. You're going up and down the whole time. Whereas when you're doing my approach, you're making sure that you are staying lean, not gaining fat in the process, and building that muscle slowly but surely. Then you don't have to go up and down, look good and bad, gain fat, gain weight, lose weight. You can just focus on building that muscle slowly but surely. And then if you feel like you're gaining too much fat, you can quickly go on a mini shred for like 2 weeks, cut down on that fat, and then start the process over again. Oh, and even if it takes you a bit longer to gain muscle this way than compared to that guy who's doing it dirty, even though his lifts are up, he's gaining more muscle, that guy's gonna have to spend more time cutting down all of that fat. He could potentially lose more muscle in the process of that. He's gonna look bad, like he's not gonna look good for a period of time until he cuts down. You're gonna look good year round, gain that muscle slowly but surely. You don't have to worry about cutting down, losing all that fat. You're good, man, you're good. Oh, and if you haven't already, press that little button right there that says subscribe. You can subscribe to the channel right now without going off the video. It's really quick, really easy. It takes you 1 second. Help the channel out a lot, and I will really appreciate it. You do not have to do that though, but thank you so much for everybody who just did that. Oh, and with the whole fat tissue, muscle tissue thing, is you want to make that fat tissue above your muscles, like covering your muscles as thin as possible to give you that definition. That is why you can train abs as much as you want, but if you have a thick layer of fat covering your muscle, you will not see those abs. That's why I always say abs are made in the kitchen. So you want to reduce that fat layer as small, as thin as possible, so that you can see your muscles and just look good.